buddy. Just a little guy. But this one was aggressive.
Used to be considered a trash fish, and that is the eel pout or the burbot or the ling or the lawyer, the cod, whatever you want to call this fish.
If it looks like junk to you, it probably looks good to me. I paint on something different all the time.
Funding for this program was provided by the Minnesota Environment and Natural Resources Trust Fund, Safe Basements of Minnesota, your basement waterproofing and foundation repair specialist since 1990. Peace of mind is a safe basement. Live Wide Open. The more people know about West Central Minnesota, the more reasons they have to live here. More at livewideopen.com. Western Minnesota Prairie Waters, where peace, relaxation, and opportunities await.
In the land of 10,000 lakes, fishing is king. While anglers still like to keep a few for the frying pan, the catch and release mentality is growing. The tug on the end of your line is becoming more important than catching the best tasting fish. And that means that targeting non-game fish has become more common. So much so that the DNR is starting to look at new regulations on certain species of fish to protect them. All right, so there's one fish in northern Minnesota that's gotten more and more popular here in recent years. Used to be considered a trash fish. People would catch them and they just leave them on the ice and get rid of them. And then they got to be more popular as the poor man's lobster, they were called. And that is the eel pout or the burbot or the ling or the lawyer, the cod, whatever you want to call this fish. It's a popular fish nowadays. It's actually been listed as a game fish now in Minnesota. They're talking about setting limits on it, and they're a fun fish to catch, and they are delicious, but they're becoming more and more popular as a catch and release fish. So you can catch burbot on walleye gear. In fact, I've never actually targeted eel pout before. Anytime I've ever caught one's always been a bycatch when I've been walleye fishing. So I've got walleye gear, but now it's become so popular that you can actually get specialized tackle for burbot, and that's what we're going to do today here at Northwoods Bait and Tackle. We're going to see what they got for catching some eel pout tonight. Hey, how's it going?
Hey, good.
I'm
good.
Brett Amundsen.
Tyler,
nice to meet you. We want to catch some burbot tonight. What do we need?
So we got this stuff here. These ones got some
Big
rattles
nasty.
in them. And we also got these. They've been hitting on jigs pretty recently too. Anything with a lot of glow to it.
Glow is key, and then you tip these with some minnow heads?
Yeah, minnow heads. You know.
I kind of like the idea of this rattle though.
Yeah.
Being able to make
draws
a lot of
them in
noise
a little
down
bit
there.
more.
All right, well, I'm going to take a couple of the glow jigs and a couple of the glow rattles. So have you seen an increase in popularity for burbot? A lot of people coming in here asking about what to use and how to target them?
There's a lot of people coming in asking what to use. Most people are getting fatheads too. They're getting the big nasty lures.
You're guaranteeing us one of those tonight, right?
Oh yeah, maybe not that
The
big,
state
but
record from
yeah,
2012?
You'll catch some for sure.
Right. We learned that Big Nasty Tackle was made just down the road from Bemidji in Cass Lake. So we made our way there to see how these jigs were made. Matt, where are we right now?
We're in Cass Lake, Minnesota, home of Big Nasty Tackle.
Right, and we're also inside a tackle shop and a pawn shop.
Yep, MD Pawn and Bait, part owner here at the bait shop, and we were fortunate enough to buy a tackle company a couple years ago, and we're just trying to make it work.
How long ago did this tackle start?
Adam Forsyth started about 10 or 11 years ago, I believe, and we were fortunate enough to buy this our third season, I believe, with Big Nasty Tackle. He did a good job, handed it over to us. He's helped us out tremendously, and we just keep trying to expand the line, add new colors, add new product.
You know, it's not easy starting new tackle or starting a new tackle company, everything is so crowded in the fishing world these days, and everybody's making tackle, it seems like. But when you have the popularity growing of a fish that hasn't been targeted, I mean, what a great opportunity to make tackle specifically for those fish. So you make these right here.
That's correct, right in the store.
Can you show me how to do it?
I sure can.
You're talking about pouring alternatives to lead, which is also a really important thing these days.
That's correct. We're using a 928 tin, and it comes in pucks like this when we buy it. We melt it in a lead hot. We've got a couple different sizes.
How easy is it to acquire this?
It's expensive. These come in 3 bars. They're $146 for a bar.
Holy smokes.
Yeah, so it's quite expensive, but it is the future. We know that. All the European Union, you can't use lead. So we're trying to break into that market a little bit, expand it. So we've decided to do some alternative with that. And then we use our jigs, our molds here. And basically, we put all the components we have to put in, and it comes out, the mold looks like this. And then we have to finish the process by breaking this tip off and sand them smooth so we could paint them.
I've seen this glow paint in action on these. I want to know where you keep the radioactive material, because I've never seen anything glow like this.
It's under lock and key in the safe.
You ship these a lot of places?
I ship them, a lot of them to Canada, many of the states out west, Michigan, Maine. I ship them to Norway and Sweden also. I've got shipments going too.
Well, thanks a lot, man. Good luck with everything.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Now that we had our gear, it was time to go fishing. We got to the lake here tonight. We heard this was a spot to go, and when we got here, there was these 2 guys selling Girl Scout cookies. Let's go see who it is here. Oh, it's Jason Rylander and Jason Durham, ladies and gentlemen. How odd that we see you guys here.
Oh, weird.
Selling Girl Scout cookies. What are you guys doing? We're going eelpout fishing.
Oh, really? Did you guys bring any gear?
Yeah, we got some gear.
Oh, okay. Can you bring any snowmobiles?
Can you ride out on your snowmobiles with you?
Yeah.
Okay, perfect.
Yeah.
We got Girl Scout cookies. Is there some eelpout out here?
There's some eelpout out here.
All right, let's go get them. The Jasons are both fishing guides and have spent a lot of hours chasing this unique fish. With daylight fading, I wanted to get a good look at the bottom structure with an underwater camera before it got too dark, and it didn't take long to see what we were after.
I told you. I think we're on the spot.
I was having more fun with the camera than I should have, and I probably should have grabbed a rod, but I was enjoying seeing the fish and listening to Jason Rylander give Jason Durham a hard time about his hole drilling skills.
I like this hole, Jace. How did you do this? What? I've never seen a oval auger before. It's like round and then an extra.
Jason Rylander has gotten to be known for his burbot obsession, and like many people, his first encounter was while walleye fishing.
Catching an 8-pounder on Lake Bemidji by accident, and it was incredible. Like, it was an 8-pound fish, fought like crazy. Why would I not want to go chase these on purpose and experience that fight over and over again? That's really what got me hooked, was that first one.
Since he was one of the first people to bring burbot into the spotlight, it only made sense that he caught the first one tonight.
I was one of the few back in the day. I mean, that's how I met Matt Brewer, was out eelpout fishing. It was March, and we were the only 2 people on all of Lake Bemidji. Of course, we gravitated towards each other, fishing the same piece of structure, so I got to know him. I got a job working for him as a guide.
Well, Jason's ability to catch these unique fish made him popular. A burbot hot tub photo that went viral sent him over the top.
It wasn't quite the picture I had in my head. I kind of imagined me in the water more and some eelpout over my legs a little bit more, but man, that water was cold and that ice well just wasn't quite big enough.
Fishing is supposed to be about fun. Catching limits is always nice, but at the end of the day, your measure of success shouldn't be based on what you're taking home. And when it comes to Minnesota lakes, there may be no one having more fun on them than Jason Durham, who got into burbot fishing in recent years.
Oh, got off right under the hole. I would have got that if somebody was over here helping me.
Classic Durham.
To tell you honestly, the first time I really didn't want to go, and it was this guy, Mr. Rylander, that convinced me to go out eelpout fishing. And we had actually met on social media, hadn't yeah, we had originally met on social media through some mutual friends, and he invited me to go eel pout fishing, and honestly I really didn't want to go. I wasn't interested. And then when we went the first time, we hit it off so well in terms of our personalities, and in addition we caught a whole bunch of eel pout, and I was hooked from that point on. And now, man, I've dove in head first in terms of the world of eel pout, researching, how they act and why they act the way that they do, different techniques, different baits, different bodies of water. And yeah, I absolutely love them.
The two friends both guide for different guide companies, but have been working together enough to get referred to as the Jasons. And after spending some time on the ice with them, it's easy to see why.
I'm looking for sharp breaks. I'm looking for hard bottom. Wherever the crayfish is, that's where the eel pout are going to be.
That was to a T. Oh, that was gorgeous.
That's my line.
Though they will eat minnows and other things too, crayfish are a primary food source. And so we're just fishing right along that transition. We're in 17 feet of water, and it varies from lake to lake in terms of the depth that you're going to target. Some lakes you might be shallower than 17 feet. Some lakes are going to be much, much deeper.
Nice fish.
I did absolutely nothing. I tell you what, we've had some fish come through and just really negative. So I put the rod in the holder about 3 feet, had the bait about 3 feet off the bottom. I watched it come up to it, and it denied it. And then I started shaking it and moving up faster. It hit probably 6 feet off the bottom. That is a healthy eel pout. Beauty.
Well, it kind of surprised me. I was just pounding the bottom. I hadn't seen any fish for a little while, and all of a sudden I got a bite. Set the hook, nice little male, lots of cool little colors on them. It's one thing I really love about the eel pout is each one's like a snowflake. Everyone's different. They got different color patterns. Pretty cool to see these cool black markings that they get.
That's the straightest it's been. That's a great shot.
Just hugging me a little bit.
When you ask people about eel pout, they usually talk about their appearance and their squirmy reaction to getting caught.
They're wiggly, and it's hard to get them straight for photos and things like that, but they don't actually wrap around your arm. That one definitely couldn't because it wasn't big enough.
The best burbot fishing is in a short window from late February through early March.
Yes, you could catch them December, January, here and there, but they're very, very spread out. Kind of different parts of the wall or the water column, and you can catch them here, there. I mean, mostly just stay out after you're done walleye fishing a little bit longer, and you might catch some eel pout. As they group up now, pre-spawn, you've got a 4 to 6 week window to learn. When I first started doing it, I would pick a lake, and that's the lake I fished. I'd maybe pick 1 or 2 lakes and just fish that lake, just to try to learn some spots, figure stuff out, and then the next year move to something else, do some more exploring, and that's really how I learned populations in different lakes around Bemidji. A lot of trial and error, a whole heck of a lot of gas, and a lot of fruitless nights, really.
Oh! Ha-ha! Come here, buddy. Just a little guy, but this one was aggressive. This one didn't hold back at all. And there's good numbers, of this size of fish out here. And that's great for the future. Eel pout are somewhat slow growing, and it really varies from lake to lake, just like you see with other species too, that you got to give them some time. But this is great for the future of eel pout fishing out on this lake. You can see they just have really, really tiny eyes, and so having glow and scent and pounding that on the bottom is really critical for getting these fish to come in and bite. Eel pout actually have really high and stringent clean water requirements. And people think of them as these swamp creatures and that they're in these back bays. A lot of times people equate them to dogfish. And they're very, very different. They need clean water, and if you ever had a decline in water quality, it would be one of the first species that are affected.
The DNR's move to classify the burbot as a game fish is a result of increased angling pressure and research.
You know, we got to assist with a study that took place where there was some telemetry done on the fish, tracking. In terms of us helping out, we got to catch the fish. And there were a number of anglers that assisted with that, but so cool to see how they went about that process. They're inserting tracking devices into the fish and tracking the fish for about 14 months. But as for like feedback that we've given the DNR, we've gotten some surveys and stuff in terms of limits, because now eel pout being designated as a game fish, the DNR can actually put limits on the fish, which I think is a great move forward.
I think for the most part, people really respect the species. They're not prolific spawners, in my personal opinion, so I think conservation is very, very important with them. And it's just cool seeing the respect they're getting.
While they are known as the poor man's lobster when it comes to table fare, most of the new anglers aren't keeping them. And tonight, we made the decision to put them all back.
You know, for a number of reasons. Not that they're not great to eat, because they are, but part of it is time of day. You know, you're getting home late. Part of it is that I just want to catch them again. That fight is what's most addictive to me, the pursuit.
Now, just as we were packing up to go, Jason Durham set the hook one more time.
There it hit.
Oh, nice!
There we go.
Get that for you, Jace.
Oh!
Little weight to that one?
No.
That's not
That's not an eel pout.
Well,
good release.
that's an release.
I think it actually got stuck in the hole here. Come on, bud.
There you go.
We're not, pike aren't supposed to bite at night.
No.
Well, I appreciate you having us out here. It's a good time. Jason, thank you very much.
Thank you, Brett. Thank you.
Thank you.
When are we going burbot hot tubbing?
Well, I retired last year. I worked for the county and ran road grader, and the same day I retired, there was a road grader sitting in front of the house when I got home, so I'm still doing the same thing, but not for the county.
So much for retirement.
Yeah.
What do you do in your spare time?
If it's cold, I like to paint and stuff. I started with the horses, painting horses and stuff, and then wildlife, stuff like that. Nothing on canvas. If it looks like junk to you, it probably looks good to me. I paint on something different all the time. We went out to the Black Hills, and between Keystone and Hill City, we was riding horse out there. Went in one of the gift shops and stuff, and I looked in there, somebody had painted some buffalo skulls, and geez, they had flowers on them and stuff. I said, I think I can do better than that. And then the bell started ringing, and I knew where there was some skulls from when we'd been riding. So come home, found the skulls, and painted one. And then the grandkids, they was in the fair and stuff, and they said, Gramps, why don't you bring something to the fair? I says, I ain't got nothing to bring to the fair. Yeah, those things you painted, them skulls. Well, I took 3 skulls there. In the very first year, I got 1 first and 2 seconds. Then after that, then I wanted one of those purple ribbons. So I painted on skulls, saw blades, hand saws, little everything. And then I got, not the purple ribbons, I got 2 of the psychedelic ones the first year at the Monty Fair, and I didn't know nothing about those ribbons. So I says to this lady, I see I got 2 of those big psychedelic ribbons, but I said, are they as good as the purple ones? She said, oh yes. She says, that's Grand Champion Supreme. So I got 2 of them that year, and I went to all the fairs around here. I've Madison was probably the hardest one. That's the last fair, and everybody brings the best of the best there, and it took me a few years to get there. I got some reserve grand champions, and one year I painted a granary door and put a Muriel on it, and I got the grand champion out of that one, and I haven't taken that to the fair since, but I figured I'll quit when I'm on the top. Okay. There's saws. There's saws hanging back there. Here's since I got 15 of these big saws to do, but they're just so much, you know, there's more work to it, taking it all, getting them all ready. Stuff like that, you know. It's not cream cans, old dented up cream cans and stuff. I've painted them before, and them fans off, you know, you fan the tail out on your grouse and everything. Guy gave me some of them, so I painted. He gave me a whole pile of them. I like old barns, the old barns, but then I gotta put some wildlife or something in front of it, you know. I might see an old building and take a picture of that, and then add my own thing to it. I might have 3, 4 pictures that I look at to make one, you know, and stuff. But the old barns, pheasants, deer, horses, a lot of horse pictures I've painted. I've been doing a lot of stuff on wood now just because it, I don't know, it just seems simpler, and you can kind of do your own thing. Last winter, the winter before, I took the wife down to the doctor down in Marshall. I had some time to kill, so I went into Hobby Lobby and I bought a wood burner. So I wood burned a few the last winter here just to do something different. And I don't know, it takes about the same amount of time, but you learn a little with that thing too. It just kind of breaks it up a little. It was 2007 when I painted the first one. Otherwise, I'd never even tried to paint anything. You know, I doodled around with a pencil and, you know, drew some pictures when you was in school when you were supposed to be studying. Everybody drew in the back of their notebooks, didn't they? So
no classes or anything?
No.
Just something you've been doing for fun?
Yeah. And then I went and talked to a couple guys that knew how to paint really good and asked them some questions, but I don't know. I do mine completely different than what they do anyway. I usually kind of sketch it out or do it, a lot of it I do just with the brush, but I'll make a silhouette. And then I start from the back and work forward, put the sky in and then the trees and keep coming forward. No lessons, you just kind of teach yourself, you know.
Hi, welcome back. Certainly glad you could join me again today. Got your palette set up?
I've watched old Bob Ross a few times, and you know, his is different because his is in oil and they look good all the time till you get right up next to them, but kind of gives you some ideas though. But what he does in a half hour would probably take me a week.
You have some happy trees once in a while?
Maybe there lives some happy little evergreens.
Oh, I got some happy trees once in a while. You got to cover up a mistake or something, so yeah, that works.
Some of the wood tells the story. This here, all through here, this is box elder, and here's the black. And you see, it looks like it made the sky itself. I didn't have to do no paint, and the rest of this I would burn. But you'll see the dark spots through here and stuff that look like part of the landscape. Well, that's all right in the wood. So they said that sometimes it does the work for you. It's coming out, and you kind of, ooh, look at that. And it's something you wouldn't have put in yourself, but it's just natural, and it looks like it's supposed to be there. You get a lot of compliments, I tell you.
I don't want to tell you what a lot of them said. You wouldn't know it for a guy that don't look like he'd be able to tie his shoes and he can paint like that. So, yeah.
True or false? Most Minnesota lakes have invasive species. False. Only about 8% of Minnesota's more than 11,000 lakes are on the infested waters list. Less than 3% are infested with zebra mussels. Preventing infestations is worth our time and effort. We can stop aquatic hitchhikers from infesting more lakes and streams by cleaning up everything we pull out of the water. It's a simple drill. Clean in, clean out. Before leaving a water access, clean your boat and water equipment. Remove and dispose of all plants and aquatic species in the trash. Drain water from your boat, ballast tanks, motor, live well, and bait container. Remove drain plugs and keep drain plugs out while transporting equipment. Dispose of unwanted bait in the trash. To keep live bait, drain the water and refill the bait container with bottled or tap water. And if you have been in infested waters, also spray your boat with high-pressure water. Rinse with very hot water. Dry for at least 5 days. Stop the spread of AIS. Funding for this segment was provided by the Aquatic Invasive Species Task Forces of Wright, Meeker, Yellow Medicine, Lac Qui Parle, and Big Stone counties. Funding for this program was provided by the Minnesota Environment and Natural Resources Trust Fund, Safe Basements of Minnesota, your basement waterproofing and foundation repair specialist since 1990. Peace of mind is a safe basement. Live Wide Open. The more people know about West Central Minnesota, the more reasons they have to live here. More at livewideopen.com. Western Minnesota Prairie Waters, where peace, relaxation, and opportunities await.